Lovecraft, he was a dedicated autodidactic scholar of ancient religions. He took special interest in Greco-Roman and Egyptian pantheons. He taught himself much about these religions of ancient cultures at the age of 7. So he'd been reading about it his whole life. So it comes as no surprise that his Dreamlands have a great many similarities with the ancient Egyptians' afterlife. Those who journey through Lovecraft's Dreamlands are quite obviously named dreamers. When a dreamer falls asleep, they arise from their bed to find that a doorway or a window in their room has turned into a portal. In Lovecraft's work, this awakening is very much a corporeal experience. It is a real thing that happens, and anything that happens to you in this state has actual consequences. The journey to the Dreamlands happens upon entering this form portal, and you descend the 77 steps of light slumber. After you reach the bottom, you're met by Nasht and Kaman Tha and a pillar of flame. Nasht and Kaman Tha are guardian priests who judge whether you have a desire that's strong enough to let you enter the Dreamlands. If your desire is strong, Nasht and Kaman Tha extinguish the pillar of flame, and you can now descend the 700 steps of deep slumber. There is a lot of walking in your sleep. If your desire is not strong enough, you go back up to bed. Now, when you are put through this trial of fire, it is extremely similar to the trial of Anubis. Just as Anubis takes you to the Hall of Two Truths, you enter the Cavern of Flames. Nasht and Kaman Tha decide the fate of the dreamer, just as Anubis decides the fate of the deceased. Although Nasht and Kaman Tha don't feed you to a menacing beast, the guardians do decide whether you're just enough to enter the Dreamlands. Once the dreamer has passed the trial of Nasht and Kaman Tha and descend the 700 steps of deep slumber, the dreamer enters the enchanted forest and begins what will take them to lands bizarre and beautiful. The dreamer will experience delights and torture at the hands of the Dreamlands' freakish denizens. Each of these uniquely mysterious creatures that inhabit the Dreamlands pose a very real threat to the dreamer. The Zoogs of the enchanted forest hide their true sinister desires to consume human flesh behind their adorable appearance. The ghouls and ghasts of the underworld eagerly await dreamers to either join their sickening ranks or become their next meal. And the moon beasts, or folk of Lang, yearn to feed dreamers to the Lord Manam Kwa, the demonic ruler of the Dreamlands moons. Yeah, you can travel to the moon. So the list of disgusting beasts that wish harm upon the dreamers is only comparable to the number of supernatural entities that stalk the deceased and do what. The parallels between Lovecraft's Dreamlands and the afterlife of the Egyptians is no coincidence. Lovecraft not only included beasts and trials that match the description in the Notebook of the Dead, he also included Bastet, an Egyptian goddess that governed cats and various astral bodies. In addition to the aforementioned materials, Lovecraft paid homage to one of the most known aspects of the culture of Egypt, the importance of felines. Yes, one of the most significant inhabitants of the Dreamlands is a tribe of cats that live in a town of Ulthar. The cats of Ulthar are an organized and intelligent band of felines that are so powerful there's literally a law against killing them held more highly than murder. It's common knowledge that cats were worshipped by Egyptians of the past. Pharaohs mummified their favorite felines. Many goddesses and gods had feline heads. And the most known structure of Egyptian architecture is the Sphinx, literally a giant cat with a person head. To the fact that the cats of Ulthar are so important in the Dreamlands is just another way that Lovecraft displays his knowledge and admiration for the olden culture of the Nile.